Hey guys, welcome to another episode with the PodKAT. As usual, I have with my guys here, Kaide and Andrew. Um, this
Welcome back,
is
guys.
this is
What's up,
back to
guys?
this is like another series of us just discussing what's been going on in the Euro so far and also Copa America. This week we're already in the finals, so we'll be discussing like the past two games in semifinals, and we'll be giving our predictions for the finals. So um, tune in and let us know your thoughts as well.
Yeah, man, I like that intro. It kind of covered through everything we want to discuss, so we should try to stay in line. For me, the Euros has been like I know the last episode I complained about how underwhelming it was. I feel like someone somewhere just turned up the switch because since the quarterfinals, it's actually been like really entertaining. Or maybe it's just knockout football generally. The hype of knockout football, but it's been like really entertaining. Every single game has kind of not every single game, but there's been an excitement in most games, right?
Yeah,
And so going into that, I think the semifinals was really exciting. Both games were exciting. Like we've been getting 4 games, 3 games a day, and even if we had one game in Euros that day, it felt like we were fed enough to discuss for the whole day. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we didn't lack on like training topics. Everything was just good, all around from both games. From me, the England game was obviously the better game. It was very interesting. I like the fact that they won within like regulated time or even if it was
Yeah.
extra time. So yeah, that's so. And in my opinion, I feel like England is going to win it because I just feel like they deserve it the most. They have the whole storyline for winning at
No,
this
no, no,
point.
no. That
really.
deserve it the
Yeah,
most. I think is not
they
correct. Just
deserve it.
because Spain have gone through harder teams in this competition, so I don't agree that they deserve it the most.
Andrew.
But that's not even what I mean by they deserve it.
You're talking
It's not
about like their
currently.
history or based off of like
Yeah, I'm
they
talking
were in
about
finals
like
last
this.
time.
No, like just how they've been winning all their games so far in this tournament. Like they are like starting the games like a very slow car and then a pickup. And it's just this emotion and it's always very, very interesting to watch. Spain has been dominant all through, but you never know if they get hit like 2 goals and they have only been down 1 goal. If they get hit by 2 goals and they're surprised and because they've always been winning everything and they don't really know how to do that thing that England is doing. Like England will be down to the end and they will still do something. Spain might not
Yeah,
have that in them, so
Yeah,
that's why I feel.
I don't feel like the word is deserving though. Like they've earned the right to be here by
Yeah.
like always staying in that position to be able to like beat the other team or to be able to um, get like a last minute goal. Like the substitutions by Southgate have been insanely good. It doesn't get better than that. Like
See,
I don't
another
know.
point
They've been good because that
that's
man
how they.
keeps speaking the wrong thing, bro.
yeah, that's what I've been saying since. It's never been about. The last recording that we had, I spoke about. I was like, he should start Tony, and then Tosin countered me and was like, Tony can't, like, he can't start it. And I was like, how about Watkins? And then we just like shoved it aside, like, no, not Watkins. But Watkins was the hero.
No,
Like,
but remember what I said about that was a player starting a game is different from a player that needs to come in and make an
Yeah, yeah,
impact.
yeah,
Like a
yeah,
player
for
coming
sure.
in, like has he knows he has like 20 minutes. He has to give it his all. Like, Watkins. Let me give you an example, right? If Watkins played from the first minute till the 90th minute, there's a chance that Watkins doesn't have that energy to make that sprint at the 90th minute. Do you understand what I'm saying?
that's not even what me. See that mentality. You can use that mentality with literally every team. If Spain goes into their finals now saying, "Oh, we'll play Yamal for the last 20 minutes," it's like, bro, play him for 70 minutes instead. Like he has more energy, has more speed, he has more agility, he has more to play for.
Oh, so you
Hurricane
think these guys
has
are better? Like, do you think Watkins is
no.
better than?
I'm saying we are the only reason why England will not win this championship or this anything is Hurricane. And I'm not blaming him, like saying he's a bad player, but it's just based on the cost that's been following him. And that's like, I don't know why people are acting. The guy went to Bayern and he didn't win a title.
Oh wait,
It
so
was
you're
like
asking,
I
you're
just
asking
remember
people,
that course. So
people have forgotten that Hurricane is still Hurricane.
you're
Euros,
You're asking the coach not to play a player based
Not
off
to
of a
play him, not
curse.
to start him.
But you cannot start him. He's their captain too. He's not
It doesn't
injured.
matter,
It
bro. It
matters.
doesn't matter.
I understand what you're trying
I
to say,
wish
bro.
it
Let's
mattered,
let's be
but
realistic, bro.
no.
Like
See, yeah, I see. I understand where we're all going here. Ideally, ideally, if they give Watkins to start the next game, or maybe he started the semifinals, whatever. You see those chances that Kane was missed. He's lucky that thing was even a penalty. Because that is not a
oh
penalty in
yeah,
any other. Exactly. So
that's also never a penalty, bro. When I saw
and
that, I could not believe they awarded a penalty for that.
see, anyways, the goal that he scored, or say the goals that he scored, two penalties and one header. The header was a deflection from Tony's crossing or Tony's pass, whatever. He has not done anything,
That's
and it's not like he has not had
positioning, bro.
chances,
That's
huh?
Yeah,
positioning. That's positioning.
Bro, it was a
but
deflection.
but
Like
back to that penalty real quick. I know Perez was the one that ran it for England, bro. Also affiliations with Bellingham.
That
Like
penalty by
true,
the
yeah,
true.
the
bro, it's
ref, the
Perez.
penalty
I know it's
ref.
Perez, man. Because
Yeah,
that's kind
true,
of
true.
pain they give Real Madrid, bro. So
Yeah,
I know Perez hand is there because I saw that and I'm like, when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, there's obviously no way they sent this guy to this thing. And I was hoping, which obviously I hoped wrong, that okay, when ref sees this, he's going to not blow. But obviously, I feel like there's always pressure on refs when they go to the monitor. You hardly
I
see refs
swear
go to the monitor
they
and
didn't
not
even
call
show him
it.
the right. They didn't even show him the right angle.
Yeah,
Like there was contact, yes, but if you see the contact that there was,
yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah,
merely
yeah.
like a very very tiny bit of it. But
Yeah.
anyways, it is what it is.
But
I like the fact that they qualified, and that's why I stand. I'm really
yeah,
happy
I
for
was
my
hoping they
English
won't
boys.
chat, but that's story for another day.
It's coming home, bro.
They keep using my boy for impact sub, right? And also Southgate to not get all the credit at the end of the day, despite the
And they say
nonsense he
super
has done this
sub.
tournament. But anyways, on to the next game. So France and Spain. I'm happy France is out because I don't think they deserve to be where they were. Right. So it's very good to see that they, escorted them out of the tournament. Mbappe, honestly, very underwhelming tournament as well. He didn't really show up for his team. I like he was just there. Right. And Spain, man, Spain are they're a very, very good team. Right. I think the finals will be mad exciting. Also, for some reason, I feel like when England concede first, the game the game's always good, right?
Even
But
Spain too. That's what's crazy.
yeah, I
But
mean, but I feel like
Spain have been
Spain.
good in
I feel
general.
Spain, regardless, like
No, no,
they're
no. But like the games that they scored the most was when you scored them first. They just keep scoring you.
yeah. So
Like
just like those guys, all that's on their mind is like, bro, like we're here to ball out, play nice football, and
yeah,
score goals, right? But England's approach is like we're here to
to
win by
qualify,
end. Do you have to qualify?
just
If
to
that
move to
means
the
playing
next round.
0-0 and going all the way to penalties and winning on
Pens, yeah,
penalties, they are fine with that, right? So that's why it's
yeah.
always nice to, when we've seen them concede, now they know they have to come out and play because they have to score. And that's when they play best. And even the last game, when they made it 1-1, they now had that period where they went to sit back and like was kind of annoying to watch. Where it's just like, bro, like you guys were playing lovely
So
attacking football, and then now all of a sudden it's 1-1, so you're not
then
interested again,
penalty. Yeah.
right? So, but yeah, I think the France Spain game, Yamal is
Wow.
man. I can't believe that guy is 16, bro. Like
I have a hot
16.
take, by the way, but I don't know if this hot take is needed. But I have to say it here so it's on record. If Harry Kane was in that penalty shootout, England would not have qualified even to the semi-finals.
You think you
But
would have
it
missed?
is what it is.
This guy's on
Yeah,
Is
he,
that
Harry.
is
he
that?
would
This
have
guy's
missed
on
now.
Harry
Oh,
Kane,
no.
man.
But
Like
Hurricane's a nasty pen taker, bro.
he just
Probably the
scored
nastiest
one.
out there, bro.
I know. I know he scored one, but I'm sure I would have missed that one.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? Obviously, we're never going to know, but here's the thing with Harry Kane. I feel the kind of penalty takers that would take maybe two or three, or say two in a game, and are likely to miss are players that kind of like, almost like they watch the keeper's movement or like they try and place and all that. But bro, Kane picks his spot and drills the ball there.
Yeah,
Like
that's why they did like that in the World Cup.
like that guy, I think he has scored his last 9 or 10 penalties for England. Bro, he doesn't miss. He doesn't
Harry
just miss.
Kane?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, outside of the one in the World Cup, he doesn't miss.
Guys, what matters? Who cares about all this under 17, all this
Yeah, no,
sorry,
no, no.
sorry,
But
all these
a
international
lot of
friends?
them have mattered. A lot of them have
Fuck up.
mattered. He scored a penalty in that game already. I think he
I
missed the second one or something
Did they
like
even
that.
miss in World Cup?
no,
It,
he has
it
not
was
he's
was
missed
in
one
the
penalty this tournament, no.
No,
No?
not this
no,
tournament.
no. It
Not
He's
this
not
wasn't.
missed.
tournament.
Oh, okay, okay.
What tournament did he miss a penalty? Was the
It
World
was
Cup?
World
No,
Cup, it was
it
World
was
Cup,
the World
yeah.
Cup.
It's
Yeah,
candidate, yeah.
yeah. Like
Oh
Anyways, I
yeah,
just know
right
that
now.
if that guy was among that, because England has in my I've watched football for so long, and I've also been reading about football for so long. England has never had, even there's barely any teams that have had 5 out of 5 penalty shootout like all scored correctly in the first round of the penalties. It's almost very rare, especially like a special team. England in any tournament has this bad luck with penalties. That's where they always go out.
Yeah, they
Like
do.
that's
They
enter
do.
England a
yeah,
penalty, and I know that if Kane was there and it was not my boy Saka or the other black boys that were there, it would have
but
been
England,
But I just
England, England have done a
sad
lot of
case.
things. Have done a lot of things to try and mitigate that. Like they've brought in like a lot of like um psychological coaches and things like that to help with penalty
Yeah,
shootouts. Like they've done a lot of training with stuff
you
like
can
that.
tell,
And
and that's
apparently,
why they're
like
comfortable with going all the way
going,
to
yeah,
penalties.
and
Yeah,
you can see with most of the players, like they were all confident with their penalties. Like they already knew their spots, they knew where they're taking it. Same way Pickford has the thing on his bottle. The players already know where they're taking the penalties the day before, right? So
yeah.
these things they're evident when a team plays a certain way. And my only issue with that is since it's worked for them twice now, is this like a way or a system or a pattern for teams to follow? Like, is there a way to play a tournament style of football? Is there a way to do certain things? Like, because it's worked out well for England. We can all complain, but like we said at the beginning of like this series, like, would you rather play horrible football and make it to the finals, or would you rather play like
But
amazing football and then you don't end up anywhere even close to the
bro,
to say,
finals?
I feel they've been slightly lucky. I'll just say
very,
that.
very. That
I
Jude
think I
Bellingham's
think they've
goal,
been they've been lucky, right?
lucky,
So
bro.
if they were on the other side of the bracket, I doubt they make it to the final because when you look at every single game they've played, they've like I don't use the word lucky, but like it's been too close 3 times. Do you get? And obviously, it shows how resilient they are. Like, and I feel like they've been playing like a team on a mission where it's like, okay, they know how their last Euros ended, and they've come back here like to win the tournament, right? But again, when you look at it, it's like they've played that way against okay, Switzerland, is it Slovenia? Slovenia, like
Yeah,
Netherlands,
Slovenia.
like those are teams that they should not be that close to, and they went behind to all those teams. Like that Bellingham goal was a bailout. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Mm.
again, I don't think it's something that's sustainable. You can definitely win like that, but that can be your MO. Like see Atletico Madrid, for instance, when it comes to Champions League, you know, you don't want to face Atletico, and Atletico plays the same way. But how many
And
Champions
they've
League
not
does
won,
Atletico have? Yeah,
they've
none.
not won anything.
Do you get what I'm
So
saying? And I mean, they're unfortunate to have, been punished by Ronaldo multiple times. And Ronaldo is Ronaldo, like, you can't really help it. But it's just like that style of play, I feel it can nick you, a major trophy. But it's not something that teams can really copy. Where it's like, yeah, if you're going into a tournament, it's like, okay, the idea is like, whatever it takes. If we have to spark the bus for 80 minutes, we'll do it. Yeah, you're not going to go far, man.
but but Loki, it's been that method has Loki been the most successful of recent. And if I look back at Italy winning that World Cup, they did it.
Oh no, I don't agree that Italy style was what we're seeing England do or what Atletico does.
What are you saying?
It's
Like
not the
it's not a
exact.
pack. It's not a. I know not the example. I'm saying like the idea of like no, I don't say pack the boss, but more so like we're not really playing any footy. We're just making it hard to score us, and
Yeah,
then
that's
we're
what
just waiting
Italy
to get our
was
chance.
But it's
playing.
it's basically conservative football. Like
Yeah, that's what Italy
you take
played.
less chances and then you
You
play
score the ones that you
you
have.
score the ones that
Very
you have and
little.
then you play like very close to each other. Like literally like you can see that the midfield is packed. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
England play like six midfielders almost, bro. Like, and they're all
Mhm.
literally in the
Yeah,
same diamond. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
And Harry Kane, who's meant to be that lone striker, doesn't really play that striking position because he's not making all those runs in
it's playing
behind.
midfield.
And you know what I'm starting to realize more and more is that these things are tactical. They're not like mistakes. Like, we're not watching a
Yeah,
game that England are not prepared for.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The fact that they haven't scored those goals is almost like a result of how they're playing. But the fact that when they do concede, they know how to switch it on. That is also tactical. Do you understand what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the goals that they get, that they concede, they're not planned. Like, even the goal like Netherlands scored, like like that guy has been horrible the entire tournament, and he scores like a
Yeah.
like a rocket from like outside the box. You
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
do that.
I think for sure it's England's plan to kill the game that way. You know, I feel that's why,
that's their way of
that's why,
controlling the
yeah,
game.
Controlling the game.
That's why Southgate gets a lot of criticism, right? Because it's like everyone's just like, bro, we know this team can play better than this, but you're the one choosing to play like this because you just want to get the result by all means, right? So, but yeah, man. So, anyways, moving on to the final. What do you guys think? England versus Spain.
It's coming home now. It's coming home. It's going to come home in a very grandiose way. It will not be penalties. It will not be extra time. England will win in 90 minutes. Take
In
it or
90
leave it.
minutes?
With
Okay.
more than one goal
Inshallah.
difference. With more than one goal difference. Saka is scoring in that final. He's finally back home. Finally, you should be happy that football is coming back home in our
Who made it?
lifetime,
Who made it home, bro?
where it was originated.
Who made it home, bro? That's fake origin, bro. Like I don't rate that origin, man.
I
Okay.
I honestly, I'm rooting for England, but I have a feeling that like Spain are not going to lose that game. Like, I just feel like with the
What?
likes, like I'm rooting, like personally, right? I'm rooting for England, but I don't
Mhm.
see Spain losing that game because of the likes of players like Rodri, right? Rodri is like, and I know Andrew, when we spoke about the Man
Andrews.
City, you were
Yeah.
saying all this shit like, oh, it's a useless stats,
I
blah
have to
blah blah
say
blah. It's a
something
useless.
now. It's
Nah,
not about
nah,
that
nigga.
stats.
I don't want to
It's
hear.
not
It.
about that
I
stats.
don't want to
Hold
hear. It.
on,
I don't
hold
want to
on.
hear it. I don't
It's
want to
not
hear
about
it.
that stats. Just
My
chill,
brother,
chill.
my brother.
Kobe
Nah,
Mano. Rodri never win Kobe Mano yet. He hasn't won a match against Kobe Mano yet. Yet. And we're here calling all these unnecessary streaks. Shit on Snapchat. We're talking about football. We're talking about streaks.
okay. This is not a Man City streak, my brother. This is not a Man City streak. Rodri hasn't lost a game with Spain in this
And Kobe Mano has not
tournament.
lost to Rodri
Nigga, why are
in
you
his
talking
football
about? Why are you
career.
talking about Kobe
So
Mino? Kobe
now you
Mino,
see how that sounds. It's like, who cares about if he's not lost, bro?
Kobe Mino has played one season in his life of professional football. But I'm just not. That's just my
Yeah,
take. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. I get
That's
you.
all it is for me. It's like I just feel like players like Rodri, they command so much within a game that like I feel like England need to take him out of the game completely. Like, I don't know if you guys watched Germany, but Germany did a good job in the first half when Gondwan literally, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Gondwan was like attacking Rodri the entire game. Like, he was literally man
He knows
marking
the
him.
book.
Like, he
Yeah,
knows because he played with him. Like,
yeah,
so you
yeah.
have to play a game where like you take Rodri out of it because for some reason he just has so much energy to do both defensive and offensive, like, or sorry,
I,
like
I can't wait for them
offensive and
to
attacking side
do a
of the
proper
game.
doping test on him. I feel like
But
that guy's going to.
for real, because there has to be something like that that's making him wired differently. Like, he just has so much impact on the game, and I've watched a lot of midfielders, and I haven't really seen this. Like, it's just clear he's literally just the best CDM in the world. Like, you can just see it
Yeah,
in every single game, and he's a big reason why Spain are where they are. I think if you take him out of the game, they have a good chance. But if not, like, it's going to come
but
down
I
to the
think
wire again.
I think we should start having those kind of conversations now, because if you are winning everything in your domestic league and in your club, you win everything. You're literally not losing any game, and then you're carrying your own country to the final. You're winning the final. Let's say he wins it. Like, what else do you want from him? It's just that he's not a striker and he's not scoring goals. But Rodri is scoring the most important goals in almost all these tournaments that
Most,
Literally,
we're
most
that's
playing.
the thing
importantly.
as
So why
well.
are we
Yeah.
not looking at him in that with that eye, like, okay, like Ballon d'Or or like top 3 or top 5? We're still looking at him as, okay, top 20 or team of the season. Like nobody
No,
cares
no,
You know,
no.
still.
the issue with that, and Kaida, I'll let you like chime in real quick. But the issue with that is when you play with a team like Man City, where a guy like Phil Foden wins PFA, when there's so many other players that I feel like could have won that award outside of Phil Foden. He's been good, but Phil Foden in my eyes hasn't been better than Rodri in their positions. Like
In
just
anything, actually.
he hasn't. For me, I feel like Ollie Watkins could have won that award, and I'll be fine with it as well. Like there are a lot of players that deserved it just as much as Phil Foden. But in a team like Man City, where you have Rodri, Phil Foden, Haaland, you have so many players, it's hard for us to look at it and be like, "Oh, this is the reason." But if you look at the stats, if you look at how he's played, they haven't lost a game with him. Like it's hard for me when I watch players like that and I can see the impact that they have. But unfortunately, those awards are not meant for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it is at the end of the day.
For me, I honestly just think whoever scores first wins that final. I think, compared to what England have been facing, the thing with Spain is England if Spain goes 1-0 up, for instance, right, and England comes out to play, I feel Spain get a second goal, and just from wing play, like they have Yamal and Nico Williams on the wings, right, and I feel teams have had the chance to go 2 up against England, but don't take their chances essentially. And I think Spain is the one team that would definitely take their chances. And the other way around, if England does score first, I feel like they would suck the life out of the game and are likely to win from there. And if England also score first, I see them doing that sometime in the second half where it's like, okay, they score their first goal, like 60 something minutes. So they just have like 20, 25 minutes to just like kill the game. And I feel like again, that's like we're saying, that's their style. They are very good at just choking up all areas of the pitch they need to. So yeah, so honestly, I feel like it's very, very tough when it can go anyways. I personally, so with Tosin, like it's the other way around, right? I want Spain to win, but I think England will win actually. I feel like England are coming here on some, we've been here, we were here last time. We can't come back here and lose. So, there's just something with a team that's just here to like kind of like prove a point, and they know like, okay, we're not leaving this place without winning. Like we're either going to die here or win literally. Like there's no other option. And I just feel like Spain might not be coming on that energy. If Spain win that final, it's more on just pure football, where it's just like, okay, they're just the better team and the better team won. Right. So again, I
Yeah.
100% want Spain to win, but my gut just says like England aren't going back to back Euro finals and losing both. It's just,
Yeah.
It's coming
even from
home. Just say
even
it.
from the penalties, right? Like it's like Saka, all these
Just
guys,
say
like
it's coming home.
them stepping up to take those pens again is like to prove a point where it's just like, yeah, we're on this stage before and we missed our pens, and like this is us coming back here and taking those pens to show you that that happened in the past, but like that isn't happening now anymore, right? So
Yeah. And my only issue with that is that I hope England look at it from the perspective you just described about like we're going to put everything on the line rather than seeing it as like, oh, we're under pressure to win this. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you go there and you play with that level of like fear of like what would happen if we don't win this, like
What happened is crazy.
what would happen?
yeah, but if they think, yeah, because if they
You know,
actually think about it that way, they are doomed, bro. Because
so
Bro. If even if they don't think and it happens, bro, I pity those boys,
yeah,
man.
it's
I
kind
know
of like
you. Yeah, good luck.
it's kind of like you have to see it as we have to win it. This is ours. Like this is destiny almost, And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I hope it works out for them. And I just wanted to counter something you said, like briefly, Kaide. You mentioned that if England score first, they can like park the bus or make it difficult, like squeeze the life out of the game. Do you think there's a better team in this tournament so far that can break a team down than Spain and break a team down better than
then
Spain?
yeah, yeah.
I don't
And
even
I
think
don't, I don't, I
England
don't,
will
I
have the
don't,
ball. I don't even
I
think they
don't
will have
think
the ball
so.
to even do that.
who
Because
would
you
have the
need to have the
ball?
ball to control the game. Spain will have the
No, no,
ball.
no, but no, but England don't want to necessarily have the ball. But totally, I agree with you. Like, if there's one team that can break down England in that state, is
In
is 100%
Spain.
Spain. Yeah, yeah. 1,000 players. Like even Georgia, if you remember, like when Georgia went 1-0 up, I think Georgia actually did a very good job defending up until they equalized. And it's like when they scored that goal, you're just like, bro, man, that was perfect football. Like there's nothing else you could have done, right? And
Yeah.
again, Spain is the one team that's just capable of doing that to you.
And they've scored great goals. Like they're not scoring like fluke goals.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they're
yeah.
scoring open
Look at
play goals
Yamal's
where like
goal.
yeah, where
The
like
defense line was still standing. He doesn't need that. Just
Even Danny Olmo's goal,
that
like
guy's a magician.
we can look at it and be like, oh, it was a deflection. That ball was going straight
Yeah, it
into the
was going
corner of
in.
the
Yeah,
net.
yeah, yeah, it was
Like
going
Yeah,
in. It was
you know
going
what
in
I'm saying?
anyways. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, man. So, anyways, that I guess that rounds up our predictions there.
For
For everyone
Euros.
watching, please feel free to also give us your own predictions in the comments. So now we're going to move on to making our predictions for the Copa finals. I know we've not really spoken much about Copa. To be very honest, like the tournament hasn't been that interesting to me.
the
Like
tournament speaks for itself. Don't worry.
yeah, man. Like Copper ball is just anyhow. Like to be very honest, I feel like semis like were, I guess they were let me just say better than the tournament has shown us so far.
Yeah.
Argentina comfortably beat Canada 2-0. I was hoping for Canada to, as much as I like Messi, obviously I was supporting Canada there. And then Colombia, and Uruguay, bro.
That was
Nunes.
a that was a brawl.
Yeah, bro. Also, like, guy, the way they play, the way these guys play football is crazy. Like, I feel like it's very difficult to be let's just say like a player like Neymar in his pure state, for instance. It's so difficult to be that kind of player in Copa. Like, bro, they will literally kick you off the field, right? It's
Yeah.
like, and it's so fast paced and aggressive. Like, once you receive the ball, you have 2 seconds to do what you want to do before someone's either kicking you or bumping into you. So, bro, the competition is just crazy. But Uruguay, Colombia, I feel Uruguay had their chances, honestly.
They
Somehow
did.
they
It
lost that
was
game. They lost that game. They had too many chances, honestly, and they lost that game 1-0. Even
with
with
red
those guys
cards.
playing one man down the whole
Uh,
second half. But I'm happy Colombia made it to the finals because I think they deserve
that's the
to
team
be
of
there.
the
Yeah,
tournament, in my
yeah, they've
opinion.
been the best team in my opinion.
Best team,
So
the best player
I think
so far.
Argentina Colombia is going to be a breezy final.
Yeah, I hope we don't have any red cards in that final. Honestly,
Yeah,
man,
man.
I just want to see it. Like, and my issue with Copa America is these teams actually have a good set of players, right?
This goal
So,
started with red card.
but,
I was
no,
shaking
but
my head like
Andrew, here's the issue. Here's the issue, right?
I can
If
bet money
if
on it.
those players just play a good game of football, it's actually so
Yeah, bro.
entertaining. But they choose
Bro, they're not interested,
not
bro.
to. Like,
Yeah, bro.
and you know what I'm starting to realize is, and it's coming back up with a lot of players. They're speaking more about people respecting the likes of like Neymar, like players that are skillful and they can still show their like tricks, their skills, like within these kind of games. Because I don't know if you guys ever seen the highlights, but there's like a compilation of Neymar playing in the finals against Argentina, and he was fouled, I think, like
Yeah.
8 or 10 times in that game, right? And these were all like tackles where like you're meant to be out for like the season
Yeah,
after some of
bro.
these tackles.
Yeah,
And
bro.
I know we've had like the constant thing of like Neymar always being injured and maybe going back to Brazil, but this guy has been hit the hardest ever. Like I've never seen a player been hit as much as Neymar because he's not afraid to try this. And we're seeing the same thing with Vinicius Junior. Like obviously he's very early on in his career. He hasn't had that many injuries, but the more you play that style of football, the more you get hit. And especially in these tournaments, trust me, there are people coming for you from the beginning of the game. So
So,
my
so,
hope, go ahead.
so I was gonna say on that point of Neymar being hit, right? I remember Mourinho used to speak about that, or he spoke about that, right? He also spoke about it with
With
Hazard as
Hazard,
well,
yeah.
right? Where it's just like, and obviously when the injuries start hitting, people look at it like, oh, why is this guy being injured all of a sudden? And I'm like, bro, like you watch these players, they take on, you know, players like Neymar, players like Hazard, like they're not other players that take on as much as those players and they put their body on the line. So just like when someone has done that for 5, 6 years consistently at the highest level, bro, at some point it's going to catch up with you. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And it's like it's just one of those things where when the injury starts like this, it doesn't stop. Do you get like I don't think any of us were prepared for Neymar. Like Neymar just bro, he just stopped playing football. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like one season just started and the injuries were just coming, and all of a sudden he felt like a part-time footballer. Next thing he went to Saudi. In Saudi too, like nothing was really going for him. You
He's
know,
injured
he
right
kind of
now. Yeah.
yeah, he kind of dropped from like Brazil team. And you know, same thing happened with Hazard when he went to Real Madrid. Like that guy barely played any games in Madrid.
And Kaide, you know what I realized? They play a lot of games already with injuries, right? So we don't realize when they
Yeah,
actually get those bigger injuries where it's like, okay, ACL tear, and you're like, okay, this guy can actually not play football. But like the ankle injuries and things like that, like even just seeing the amount of players that play with that in every sport, I can only imagine the amount of times like we saw a game where it's like Hazard probably had like a two-set ankle or Neymar had like a two-set ankle, but you're playing against Madrid, you're playing against Chelsea, you have to play.
yeah,
Those
and
players need to be in those games. They just inject them, literally.
exactly, bro. And as you just mentioned that, like, there's even the natural wear and tear that I feel comes already with the fact that these guys are crazy dribblers that can go left, can go right, and I feel like their ankles already deal with the fact that you know bro, like guy, like this sudden movement every 3 minutes, sudden left, sudden right. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like their bodies are already dealing with the fact that at this level you're playing, I can't play at this level for 10, 15 years. It's not possible. So it's not like you're now adding that to to all that. Like and looking at Hazard, for instance, in his own problems were like his ankles, right? Like his ankles essentially giving on him, where it's just like, bro, man, I can't do this anymore. My legs can't take it anymore, right? So yeah, man. So to your point, man, people like Neymar like deserve more. Like I feel like more props than than he gets because bro, it's not easy to play. Especially bro, Copa man, those guys, man, those guys don't care for sweet footing, man. They're just trying to clear.
And honestly, it was sad. It was sad to see Brazil out, but we we've seen how they've played the past couple of like months or games down Neymar. It's like
Yeah, nothing
I don't
exciting about
nothing
them,
exciting
bro.
about them.
Yeah,
They definitely need like a revamp of some sort to that team, right? So
yeah, bro.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think just give them time. It's a very young team still. Just give them time. There's really no experience like that's won anything in the team, right? So
mhm.
just give them time and they'll gel.
yeah,
Like the kind of
yeah.
Hendrick and Gabriel Martinelli, like you're
Guy, Freda
still.
Henry guy, man.
Yeah, you just understand that you're still joking. If Hendrick is number nine, you're not yet a
um,
serious team.
but yeah,
But
but
for
I think
predictions,
I
who do you
think
think is
that
going to win
final,
the?
I think Argentina, honestly, is they're just the better team. They're the more experienced team. I say Argentina. I would love to see Colombia win just for the love of the game, right? Like
Yeah.
it feels like they've done everything right. So
Mhm.
if they win, it to be one of those things where like very well deserved, and if they're beat Argentina, then they earned it because that's the best team on that side.
Yep.
So yeah, but again, Argentina, I feel like just maybe not levels, but like
Best team in the world,
they're the
though. That's
best.
the best team in the
They
world.
are, the
They're
best team in the
levels
world.
against
Like,
like
Yeah.
having it.
So
And Enzo, guys like obviously, I was going to say like guys like Enzo McAllister, like obviously Enzo has been quite underwhelming for Chelsea, but he's not that way for Argentina. Like how they play their ball in Argentina fits everything he's able to do, right? And again, those
mhm.
guys I always say, man, they're ready to die for Messi, bro. And when you have a team, when you have 10 players on the pitch that are willing to do any and everything to win a game, those are kind of things you don't want to face. Martinez all of a sudden wants to save every ball that is coming. If they go to penalty shootout, he's happy to save all 5 pens. Do you get? So
that's
yeah,
what I was about to say. I was about to say the only way Colombia can win is by not going to pens
yeah, by not going
because
to pens, bro, they
Martinez.
can't try it, man.
Yeah, Martinez is crazy when it comes to him.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, I want Colombia to win because my neighbor is Colombian and like it's very interesting. They had like a Colombian party recently. But yeah, I would love to see. I would just love to see what they're going to do because they are as big of football fans and football freaks the way we as Nigerians are like into
yeah,
football. And for the past like 2 weeks, they've been going crazy. Like there's a Colombian flag in front of the
yeah.
house. Like
So,
that's how crazy it
Tosin,
is.
before you go, anytime there's international tournaments going on, I think that's when I realized the amount of like immigrants there are in Canada.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody's
bro,
riding with their flags.
like all of a sudden I'm seeing every car like Colombian
Every
flag, like
car,
and
man.
I'm just like, bro, wait, like there are this many Colombians in Canada.
No,
You
no,
get what
no.
I'm saying?
So,
Like,
some of them are
I
just
just
supporting. Some of
no,
them
no, no. But
are
some of
just.
them, you see, no, no. I see some of them. And I'm like, oh, obviously, this person is Colombian. This is not a Canadian supporting Colombia. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it's like even Argentina, like same thing. I saw a bunch of like when it was Argentina versus Canada. Like, I saw a bunch of Argentine flags like all through the day when I was driving around. I'm like, bro, man, like, yeah, this country is quite diverse.
No, extremely honest. Even when Italy won the Euros, like there were
Oh
parties.
yeah. Oh, that
It
was
was
crazy.
insane.
That was very scary.
That was insane. So no surprise there. I think we've always known Canada is
Even when England wins, it's going to be lit
But yeah, there are
still.
a lot of English people here for
Canada
Yeah,
sure.
it's
should
going to
allow
be
the diverse city to enter their team. You understand? Like they should
because
allow
already
them.
entered now.
I no, but I feel no, no. I think it's so. Like I've always said,
We
like
entered
2 3 years ago,
semi-final.
2 3 years ago, I said Canada, like 10 15 years from now, would have a chance to have a very good team just because of how diverse the country is. So it's like, you have, I guess, you just have more natural talent based off of the internationals we have in the country, right? And if they embrace it well enough, right, and then kind of like be on the right path or right project, just be patient. Like 10 15 years from now, like the team can be very good.
My issue is that I feel like Canada always waits for the US to take a
Do
step
something,
forward
yeah.
before they do, because I feel like as Canadians there are a lot of really good, they call it soccer here, soccer players here, right? And there's been so many opportunities for Canada to take advantage of that, even if it's terms of like creating a proper league and things like that. But they always feels like they're just a few steps behind. And the US realized a couple years ago that okay, we need to make soccer a dominant sport in our country as well, because not only are there a lot of fans for soccer, there's also a lot of money to be made from it. You know what I mean?
But
So
very quickly, I think the issue on that though is the amount of money Canada would have to pour into that, or investors will have to pour into that. I feel like those people just have more interest in things like hockey and basketball for them to put their money into soccer.
yeah, but
So
with soccer, the search culture, but with soccer,
yeah,
the return on investment is insane. Like I don't think there's any sport that makes as much money. Like literally, if you just think about the World Cup and things like that, like Canada is going
And
to be hosting FIFA.
exactly.
In
So
a,
that's when that would
you
be a
know,
good time to start that project. If you look
yeah,
at South Africa, their football before World Cup and after World Cup, their leagues they're two completely different worlds. So let's say if after the World Cup is hosted here, because they're going to improve our BMO Stadium and the Stadium in
yeah,
Vancouver and
yeah,
some other stadiums. Hopefully, then they will use that money to then like invest into the sport.
yeah,
But if not for World Cup, I don't think Canadians really care that much
yeah,
to
yeah.
invest in the sport. But
yeah, for sure. But
it is what it is.
my pick for the finals is Argentina. I'm a Messi fan. Argentina are the better
I'll be here with
team.
my Colombia jersey. I'll go and get flag when we win. So England and Colombia, I'm the only one is coming home for it for it.
Spain
No
and
problem.
Argentina, bro. We move.
I'm
Wow.
again like I'm actually England and Argentina.
Colombia. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
Argentina
Wow, different.
hopefully Argentina hopefully can just add this trophy to
The
what they
cabinet.
to the cabinet, literally what they've been
Yeah.
doing. I mean, if we think about it, right,
No.
they've been to the finals. I think
Oh.
like in the last maybe like six or seven
Three
finals.
competitions.
No, no, no. Yes, but
Oh, like even Copa. Oh yeah,
like just
yeah, yeah,
combine
yeah.
That's why I don't want you to say that. That's my issue now. I don't want you to say
in the
that.
last six or seven, they've
Fine.
been to like four or five.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
Somebody on Twitter was comparing this Argentine team to that Spain 08-12. Sorry, 08 2010 and 2012 team.
Yeah, like they've been really good. I won't even lie. Like Argentina,
Can you
they've been
see
good. No, no, but
that? See,
they
once you
have.
compare those teams, then you know that Euros is on another level. That's just what I want to just make you know. Because that Spanish team to us, it felt like
was like
they
God.
were
They were like
they were
God.
like gods, bro. But Spain is doing sorry, Argentina is doing something similar, and you just feel like like it's by luck.
Argentina,
That's how
Argentina,
it feels.
Argentina is mainly Messi. Like there are a lot of good pieces around, and those pieces are not like they're not just average players. Like I don't want to call McAllister a world class player, but McAllister could be a world class player. Like a lot of players that play for Argentina could be world class players in a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah,
years. Do you know what
I
I'm saying?
agree.
But
Like they're very good.
They're not going to
that
be.
Spanish team was undefeatable.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, the
bro,
Spanish team had like while they were playing, they had legends. Like you know what I'm saying, they
what
had
the
guys that
hell?
you knew like, oh, these
Yeah,
guys
niggas that
are
are winning
legends.
treble back
You,
to
Yeah,
back.
when I knew how scary that team was, I was looking at a few games. I watched a game where they played Xavi Alonso, Iniesta, Xavi, and
David Silva. David Silva
Was it
David
David
Silva was
Silva?
false
David
nine.
Villa,
Oh,
David
David
Villa.
Silva was false nine.
David
Silva is on
Villa,
the bench.
David Villa was playing in that game, and one other person, and I was like, how do you fit a midfield of Xavi, Alonso, Xabi
Fabregas.
Alonso? I was like, this is
Yeah, and they had because they had Torres at some point. Then there was a point they started playing Fabregas false nine.
Yeah,
You know,
Fabregas false nine. That's how they used to
bro,
win your 2012. I
guy,
remember that. That was crazy.
guy, that thing was. And the thing is, they would just
And they'll
and
be scoring you.
they used to move. That was a crazy team. And they now have Puyol at the back, PK.
Ramos.
I'm sorry,
It was Ramos and Puyo at some point, and PK obviously
and
like
then Puyol, yeah, because Puyol
Yeah.
phased out at some point. Bro, now, like, it was a crazy team, man. So it's just like, and in their prime to like Casillas was dead. So it's just like, bro, man.
every player on that team was at the top of their game.
Of their game. Like
And
we were watching picking ball.
And bro, there was a point where it was in Madrid and Barca combined XI. Like it was like
it was World XI at some point.
Yeah.
They tried World
They
XI.
hated each other at some point, but once they made it, once they got past that point, we knew it was a wrap, man. We knew it was a wrap.
Oh. But yeah, man, good times, man. I don't know that we would see an international team like
At that level,
good. Yeah,
nah.
bro. Like that team was like, bro, they were so good that David Villa had to be playing left wing. Like it was insane, bro. It was insane, but yeah, man. So, anyways, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. And yeah, let's know your own predictions for the Copa final as well as Euros, and let us know who you think who your best players have been so far. And yeah, we probably would and should definitely create like team of the tournament for both
sure.
for both Copa and Euros, like after the final. Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, press all the buttons, comment. We love to see your comments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always. Anyways, have a lovely night, guys, and peace.
Take care.